You're listening to Daily Horoscope for your zodiac sign with Stephanie Campos. I'm your host, Stephanie Campos, and I am a practicing astrologer, psychic medium, and witch. In each daily episode, I covered a detailed overview of the astrology of the day and what you can expect from full moons to Mercury retrogrades. I've got you covered. And of course, there is always a personalized horoscope for your zodiac sign. If you scroll down in the show notes, there are always timestamps included for your convenience. And a quick pro tip before we dive in, I do recommend listening to your horoscope based on your rising sign for more accuracy. And if you are loving this podcast, don't be shy, leave a rating. Hell, even a review. I'm a one human show and produce each and every episode every day just for you. And your support means so much. Now let's get into the astrology of the day. This is your daily horoscope for Monday, December 8th, 2025. The action starts out around 12 p.m. when the moon in Leo forms a trine with Venus in Sagittarius. Now, these are two fire signs. Venus is our planet of connection. The moon is our emotional world. They're meeting in a supportive way. And so this can really be a great time for connecting with other people, for tapping into your creativity, coming up with creative solutions, creative expression, having fun, being playful, having sex, sending a flirty text. Things are just going a little bit more according to plan. However, I say all of that with a giant caveat because around 4 p.m., Mars in Sagittarius is forming a square with Saturn in Pisces. If you are wondering, what the hell does 2026 have in store for you and for the world? Wonder no longer, because I am hosting a live event where I'm going to go over the astrology of 2026 in depth. I'm going to highlight all of the major astrological shifts, planetary connections that you need to know about, from Mercury retrogrades, the new eclipse series that's beginning in 2026, the Venus retrograde. Yes, we have a Venus retrograde coming up, and everything else in between. I'm also going to look at how this is going to affect every rising sign. So if you're curious and you want to join, there is going to be a chat option. You can bring your questions. If we have time, I'm happy to dive into some specific chart examples. And I'm just really looking forward to getting together in a community of spiritual badasses who want to talk about the astrology of 2026. So if that sounds like it might be you, you can sign up and join over on my Patreon for $10. That's less than your fancy coffee. So what a treat. It's my gift to you this holiday season. And if you sign up on my per tier, which is only $10 a month, you also get access to weekly collective psychic readings. You get 7 episodes of your daily horoscopes for the week ahead. They drop every single Sunday, monthly tarot spreads, and so much more. I hope to see you there. Okay, Mars and Saturn, we got to talk about it. Mars and Saturn are the two malefics in astrology, okay? So they are more challenging, they're more difficult, and they're coming together in this very tense connection. Squares are difficult aspects in astrology. So it is this point of crisis or tension. Mars has us wanting to act, to make a decision. Saturn wants us to slow down. Saturn is putting obstacles in our way, and it can feel like we are kind of going back and forth between stop and go, stop and go. And that energy is super frustrating inherently. So this is taking place at 25 degrees. If you have any planets or placements around 25 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you might be the most frustrated. I apologize in advance, but we're all going to feel this somehow, and we're all going to feel it collectively as well. So this is a day to be gentle with yourself, to be gentle with others, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself ahead of time. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure you are eating a nourishing meal. Don't be afraid to say no. In general, when Mars and Saturn clash into each other, it could bring up some self-criticism. It could bring up temporary rejection or loneliness or disappointment. Sometimes there's a need to set a boundary. Sometimes there is a sacrifice that needs to be made, or there is some sort of ending that's being processed. So this energy is a little bit more serious, but you've already been feeling it build for the past few days. If you are dealing with something disappointing or that causes a heavy heart, just allow yourself to feel what comes up for you and remind yourself that this is a temporary moment and transition. And oftentimes, rejection is the universe's way of redirection and protection. Aries, if you've been traveling or overdoing it the past few days, this can lead to a moment of exhaustion when Mars forms a square with Saturn, and it's helping you identify your own limits and what's necessary when it comes to protecting your own time and energy. It's also easier to get caught up in negative thinking loops today. So if that is the case, do your best to regulate your nervous system and break the cycle however feels best to you. Taurus, you may run into some sort of roadblock when it comes to asking for support from others when Mars clashes with Saturn. And it can also become more aware who is really on your side and cheering you on in your community or groups you're part of, and even within some of your friendships. And you may decide to cut some relationships out of your life if they no longer feel aligned. You may also be pouring a lot of effort and energy towards a specific goal for your future. Gemini, you may feel like you are stuck between a rock and a hard place today when Mars forms a square with Saturn. Any conflicts that have been ongoing in your one-on-one relationships, whether that's romantic, with friends, family, can feel like they hit a standstill today. Like it's nearly impossible to get on the same page as someone else. If you are feeling frustrated, this is not the day to push forward and try to get someone to understand your perspective, but really to step away, spend some time in your own energy, regroup, and reassess. Cancer, some personal or professional responsibilities may be weighing heavy on you when Mars clashes with Saturn. If you've been overextending yourself, this can lead to moments of exhaustion or even needing to assert your boundaries. Words and conversations that take place today can also be a little bit argumentative, and feelings of rejection or receiving a no when you wish you heard a yes may come up. Leo, this can be a busy day for pouring a lot of your energy and effort into a goal for the future, a creative project, or even a romantic union. But thanks to Mars forming a square with Saturn, it's possible to experience some sense of loss or rejection. Or if you were hoping to seek someone's support in some way, it can also feel like others aren't showing up for you in the way that you wish they were. And some of your romantic wounds or patterns from the past may also resurface. Virgo, this can be a very contentious day with family members and important people in your personal life when Mars forms a square with Saturn. This can be an important time to set boundaries and also step away from relationships and family dynamics and patterns that ultimately leave you feeling small and unseen. And family drama that had been buried for some time may be explored today. Libra, this is not the cutest day for conversations when Mars forms a square with Saturn. It's easy to feel like you or other people are in an argumentative mood today. You may also feel a little overwhelmed with your schedule. Maybe there's tons that you have to get done, but for whatever reason, whether it's your health or a personal or professional responsibility, something else is taking up your time, energy, and commitment. Scorpio, there may be something that you want to purchase or invest in, and you're hitting a financial roadblock when Mars forms a square with Saturn. This is not the time to swipe your credit card and be indulgent, to exercise caution and responsibility when it comes to your personal finances and the way you invest your money, especially in your hobbies, creative pursuits, and activities. Sagittarius, you may be reaching a new limit when it comes to your family, your living situation, or even some of your close personal relationships when Mars forms a square with Saturn. This is a very important time for you to assert yourself, put your needs first, and set boundaries in your home, living situation, and even with family members. This is also very much an aspect of breaking a cycle and a pattern and choosing to make a more difficult or uncomfortable decision that will ultimately lead to your growth. Capricorn, you have got to slow down and cancel plans when Mars forms a square with Saturn. You might be feeling way more exhausted than normal. It's possible that you have some commitments today with friends or family members. If you've been overextending yourself and not caring for yourself, this can catch up with your overall well-being. This is really fertile energy, though, for reflecting and acknowledging any limiting beliefs and behavioral patterns behind the scenes that are running the show in your subconscious that you are ready to break free from. Aquarius, you may be reaching a new limit when it comes to your friends, communities you're a part of, when Mars forms a square with Saturn. Differences of personal values can get in the way of some budding friendships or some relationships you have with acquaintances. And if you're seeking funding for a goal or a dream that you have, you can encounter some sort of temporary roadblock, especially when it comes to financial support. Pisces, this can be a dramatic day in your career, your public reputation, or even with important people in your life. You might be ready to air some of your grievances openly and call out people who have been taking advantage of you or that you've needed to set boundaries with. Now, on the other hand, you may be pouring a lot of your effort and energy into a major goal or project and investing your energy in mastering a new skill. As always, I hope your daily horoscope has offered some guidance and support throughout your day. And if you can't get enough of this podcast and want more horoscopes, I invite you to join me over on Patreon, where every Sunday you gain instant access to 7 episodes of your daily horoscope for the week ahead, a weekly psychic reading, a monthly tarot spread, and a monthly meetup, which ranges from group tarot readings to group mediumship readings and circles to ask me anything about your personal birth chart. These group monthly meetups have been a real highlight over the past few months, and I am enjoying them so much. There is a link in the show notes to join. It is only $10 a month. And I hope to see you there. As always, I'm sending you love, protection, and blessings in every single dimension. Thanks so much, and see you tomorrow.